Good evening, Greg here, burning both ends, burning on the back end of Thursday, 10:57 p.m. Pacific. It is the 30th of August 2018, and I'm a little concerned that some of these posts are the content is lacking, to be honest. And I was even debating not posting tonight because I don't know, I'm just like I'm in the grind, and there's not these revolutionary things to report, but I did think of something that was really awesome today. So, and this has to do, I learned this in the I-Corps program when I was setting up all these interviews, is I found that only when I was like in the game did I begin to understand the game and was able to play it better. And that's a kind of an obvious concept, I would have to say. But I'm finding that with this, with my side hustle, with this nonprofit donation widget. So this morning I had a call with a very good friend of mine. And my very good friend, her name is Bonnie, worked with her for, I think I met her in like 2010, so about 8 years, and told her about, what I was into, see if she knew any nonprofits, and it turns out that she knows, and I'm learning this, the executive director, and I won't mention the nonprofit name, but one of the big ones, and she knows a executive director of a local branch where she is in Florida, and I would have never known that if I hadn't, given her a call. I gave her a call Tuesday night, and we chatted for a bit, and I mentioned what I was doing, and we set up a call for Thursday this morning, and so like, only by being in the game, by talking about what I'm doing, it's amazing what I'm uncovering, and this is like where I see this going. Is like, the only way for me to fail at this is to stop talking about it, to stop pursuing people, just to stop. So I even called a gentleman named Sean Coffey, who is like the kind of the main contact for Cal nonprofits. Called him, asked for some advice on, hey, how does one market to nonprofits? He gave me some advice. That was awesome. Called me back, sent me some links, very good stuff. So, I don't want to say it like it's simple but not easy, right? It's that concept. Simple meaning like the activities are not difficult to figure out what they are. They're not difficult to execute. The challenge is the persistence and the patience with it. And this is something I've talked about, something that I am learning. And this is total infinite game style. And I'm just, it's awesome. And it's cool to see where this stuff shows up. So, spoke to Bonnie this morning, learned about her executive director friend. She wants to get involved. She wants to really, do some heavy lifting for the cause. And that's also what I'm finding out, is that it's like, who cannot get behind trying to help nonprofits get more money? It's like, can anyone say, no, I don't want to be part of that? So it's very, very cool. And so yeah, and let's see what else is going on today. Just in the grind, just for my 9 to 5 for these projects that I'm managing. So I'm talking to people. We're starting to set up our large procurements, our fabrications. I'm getting the pieces of that. I learned a new word actually recently called a fragnet. I didn't know that this was really a word, and it might be like one of those kind of made up words, but fragnet, one word, Fragnet. It's like the joining of the word fragment network, or fragment of a network. And what this stands for, at least the way I learned about it, was you have your project schedule, and what you're going to do is you're going to bring in a piece of like one of your tasks that has a whole bunch of subtasks to it. And so that piece that you bring in under that task, all those subtasks, that's a fragnet. That's a chunk of tasks that goes underneath something that you add to your schedule. And so I have a whole bunch of fragnets for how we buy things and how long it takes to buy things of different values. So if the purchase is less than 25K, if it's between 25K and 100K, if it's so on and so forth. And so learned about that, added it to my schedule, starting to really kind of sequence the major tasks in the beginning, and then we're still doing this HPD integration. So we're on the back end of that. We turned a big corner. So now we are aligning things, and we are in the final stages, and so we're excited about that. And and then today I had a great lunch with an investor. We were talking about technology transfer opportunities and just some potential projects, and so that's exciting. And so I have some homework from that, which is really cool to just to poke around at what we can do, and what we're looking at. So technology transfer is this big topic. I'm very into it. This just happens to be, how does one go from technology and essentially transfer it to a commercially viable product or service that is profitable? It's simply that process, and it's very challenging because technology, because usually like that, there's that valley of death in between the technology and the profitable product, and traversing that valley of death is very challenging, or it can be very challenging. And so how does one do that? And so just looking at different technologies and technologies that are in different stages. Obviously some are a lot closer to that commercial product than others, and some of them you might argue aren't really a technology. It's actually a working thing that you look at and go, oh, that's a working thing, and it might not need so much effort to go from that working thing to, hey, this is something that a company would want to buy. And so I'm trying to identify things that are much closer to that product, and so talked to investors today. So he's interested. So we're looking at, we're just kind of taking the next step, and it's kind of I won't say it's slow, but it's just a lot of questions, a lot of talking through, a lot of kind of hypothetical situations. And so now we've gone through a bunch of that, and so now the next step is for me to start like digging and start just pursuing them down the road, whatever that means. That's almost a meaningless statement, just to kind of poke at the opportunities, talk to the people that could be involved, discuss the possible next steps, and see what people think. So it's and sometimes, like when you're really early, or I find when I'm really early in these types of opportunities, it is really vague, and it can be very tough to figure out what's the next thing, the next valuable thing to do. And sometimes just speaking out loud. That's why I really enjoyed today's meeting, because it was just both of us speaking out loud about hypothetical situations that would be interesting. So that way we start to get the feel of what sounds good and what's worth moving toward, right? So that way, as I'm off on my own talking to folks, I'll start to recognize these things. And so that was very cool. And then as far as moving forward through the weekend, so tomorrow we are driving to Tahoe, so there will almost definitely be no post tomorrow night, and probably the whole weekend. Weekends we're switching up the family schedule, so we'll probably will not be posting on the weekend, and you'll probably hear from me again on YouTube on Monday. So we will rock and roll with that. I will be doing the morning enses, at least tomorrow. I'm not sure about the weekend. Just want to give honor to the family, and that schedule will change. I think that's just really important. So, but it doesn't mean I'm not, hitting the ground, not, doing the work. That's all happening anyway. This is just simply, I just need, some kind of time and space to do the specific post, right? That's what I need. So anyway, I will wrap there. This is all about my journey as an aspiring entrepreneur. Things are getting very exciting. And then next week is when it really begins to hit. It's almost like this is like getting ready, get the pipeline full. And then next week we just really get into action around executing and talking to folks and lining folks up for, like sales calls, and, $30 million by the end of the year. That's the goal, $30 million. So let's get there. There's only one way to do it. It's by getting into action. So I'm psyched about that. So anyway, so that's what I'm looking at. So y'all be good. Check out the description. Good links down there. Beat in the background. G Money, my alter ego. I write these beats. Check them out on SoundCloud. Blah 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 blah. And please comment down below if you like what you hear. Subscribe. Ask for help if I can do anything to help you. I'd love to try. So ask some questions down below. And we will wrap there. So get some good sleep tonight. I'm psyched for some good sleep. Definitely feeling a little tired. Wake up tomorrow, light it up, Inspire folks, do great things, and I will answer you in the morning.